Making your pawn as useful as possible is definitely a big benefit to your playthrough of Dragon's Dogma 2. Specializations are one way to improve and tailor your pawn to your playstyle. There's 6 in total, and each one does its own unique thing, from letting them translate Elvish to not speaking at all, and even managing your inventory and combining items for you. To get these, you will need to do different quests, tasks, or raise affinity with people to be rewarded a tome. You can then use these tomes to grant your pawn a specific specialization. So let's go through how you get each of them, and drop a like below if we help you out, and we'll start with the Chirurgeon, at least I think that's how you say it. This is a specialization that allows your pawn to use healing items and curatives on you and the rest of your party. This of course means loading up their inventory with consumables, but can be handy if you don't want to keep a mage on your team. You can get this one by completing the quest Medical Predicament, which has you talking with a little girl outside the item shop in Melve. If you give her a fruit robrant that you can craft or buy in the shop next to her, she will then thank you, and by the time you get to the city of Vernsworth, you can talk with her here in the main square and she will give you this tome, and her father nearby will also give you a discount in his shop. And next we have the Woodland Wordsmith. This one is fantastic because it allows your pawn to understand and translate Elvish to you. This is almost required for naturally completing the Elven quests, as well as shopping at their vendors and stuff to do with the endgame. It's actually quite easy to get this one, you just need to max out the affinity of one of the elves in the arbor. It's important to note that you can only increase NPC's affinity once per day. So to do this, you're going to want to get 3 bunches of flowers. I used the innkeeper as the elf that I would max out. Speak with her and give her a gift of one of the bunches of flowers, then go to the bench just outside the inn and rest 4 times in a row by spamming the doze off button. After this, go back to her and give her the next bunch of flowers. Repeat this 1 more time, sitting on the bench and resting, and then give her the 3rd flowers on the 3rd day, and this should max out your affinity, and then speaking again will yield you with the tome. And then next we have Hawker. This is an interesting one as it allows you to sell items to your pawn when you camp, but it seems like you need to be very heavy in weight for this to work, and even then it's a bit inconsistent. I'm not sure if it's bugged or if I just was doing something wrong, but I couldn't actually get this one to work reliably for me. To do this, it is similar to the Woodland Wordsmith. You must max out your affinity with a Wandering Merchant, which are the NPCs with the big backpacks. To do this, I used the merchant in Harv as she was here every time I rested. You'll need to give 3 bunches of flowers across 3 days, which means giving a bunch of flowers as a gift, then resting for a day or doing 4 doze-offs on a bench, gifting another pair of flowers, and then repeating the 3rd time until they are maxed out. This should then have them speak with you afterwards, rewarding you with the Hawker Tome. And then we have the Aphonite. This is for those of you that hate the constant yapping of the pawns. It means that pawns cannot speak, so if you value silence in your adventures, this one is for you. Also, people online are reporting that when pawns with Aphonite gain the Dragon's Plague, they will actually talk. So it's quite cool because you can use this as a sort of warning. To get this, you will need to raise Aino's affinity until he gifts it to you. You can find him here on the map in a hut. It's similar to any other affinity raising NPC, do 1 gift per day, usually it takes around 3 days. Except this NPC really likes monster parts, so I recommend bringing some Cyclops eyes, Minotaur horns, and things like that. This is the same area that you complete the Mage and Sorcerer's Meister's teaching quest in, so you might be familiar with it. Essentially, give 3 gifts across 3 days until he gifts you this tome. Next up is the Logistician and the Forager. The Logistician allows your pawn to inventory manage for you, distributing weight between your party members as you start to get heavy. It also allows them to combine items for you, which is very useful for when your meat and fruit starts to ripen, so they can combine it into dried and then robrants automatically. However, it can be annoying when quests require certain items that are crafting materials, and you can't turn this off so your pawn keeps crafting with them. Meanwhile, the Forager will mark gatherable spots on your map for you. To get these, you need to raise affinity with Kendrick and Malcolm in the slums of Vernworth. You should start by completing the quest The Heel of History first. To do this, speak with Kendrick, then the 3 children in the slums to learn that Malcolm has gone into an underground passage. Report back to Kendrick and go into the underground tunnel to find Malcolm. Then rest for a day and return to the slums and speak with them, and they should give you the tomes. If they don't give you the tomes, you can also try gifting Kendrick and Malcolm items until they do. Kendrick should give you the Logistician and Malcolm should give you the Forager. Some people are reporting this as bugged, and others are reporting that gifting Landar in the town square or the bartender items to raise affinity with them to get it from them. But personally, I got these from Kendrick and Malcolm, but only in my first playthrough. It seems if you progress too far, it will actually cut you off from giving gifts to Kendrick, and after this point it seems like you can't get it from him. So these ones do seem a bit more tricky to get, but this is how you can get them, and this is where I got them. So share any extra ways that you've learned to get these down in the comments below so we can all learn together as a community. Thank you for watching and subscribe for more Dragon's Dogma 2 coming your way very soon.